Good morning, children. We were talking about the lesson traveling with grandfather zoo. We saw till page number 63 that grandmother went to sleep and the narrator and grandfather wanted to have their dinner, so they pulled the basket which was full of eatables. But there was a surprise waiting. Yes, in that basket, grandmother had packed all the food. But when he opened, he saw to his great surprise that the python had eaten all the food. Grandfather and the narrator saw anything left, but the python had swallowed everything and left nothing. And one more surprise was waiting, that the python was not seen anywhere there. It had eaten everything and it had gone somewhere. They searched everywhere, and they closed the basket and pushed pushed it under the berth. Then they thought that they have to go and search the python. Then they say on page number 64, children, "Well, I'm hungry," I complained. Just then Chips returned from one of his forays and presented me with a peanut. Poor thing, the narrator was so hungry and he wanted to eat something. By then Chips came and he gave him a peanut. He told thanks and he ate that it might last until morning. So this went on. Then at later after midnight, there was a clamor at the end of the corridor. Then they woke up and Timothy ground in his sleep and Popeye made complaining noises. Suddenly they could hear some noise. Sap, sap, snake, snake. Grandfather was feeling so frightened when people started shouting sap, sap. The tiffin basket was empty. The python was out and he was out in the compartment, and there were dozens of passengers together near the washroom. Grandfather casually went and he asked, "Anything wrong?" Yes. Then the passenger told, "Yes, we cannot go to the toilet. There's a huge snake there." Then grandfather just pretended, "Let me take a look." Pretended telling that he knows everything about snakes. Then the passengers made way and he entered the washroom to find the python. Then what did grandfather gathered, and he overfed he told the python has overfed himself and he's gone into the washroom. Then grandfather says, "Nothing to worry about. It is just harmless young python. He's had his dinner and he never harms anyone." So they brought, as soon as I was inside, he bolted the door. Then he took the python and he's gone. Grandmother was sitting up on the berth by that time. So she started shouting, "I told you not to bring, but still you have bought him." Then grandfather tried to explain that we had nothing to do with it, that the python had smuggled into the tiffin basket. Then grandfather says, no, we did not bring, but the python itself came into the tiffin basket. But grandmother was not convinced with whatever grandfather and the narrator told. So she was worried, what will Aunt Mabel say? Now Aunt Mabel comes into picture. Aunt Mabel was a school teacher in Lucknow. She did not like any of the reptiles. So grandfather told, "We will not scare her." So next morning, so all this took place in the train. So they reached Lucknow the next morning. Aunt Mabel was already on the platform to receive them. Then grandfather let all the other passengers get down, like all the pets and all get down slowly, and everyone got down. Aunt Mabel was a very good lover of food. She immediately spotted the tiffin basket. She picked it up. "It's not very heavy. I will carry out to the taxi. I hope you have kept something for me." She carries it and a whole chicken, I said. See, she's telling the tiffin basket is not heavy. I think you people have kept something for me instead of you all eating off Yeah. It's all yours, Auntie. He says he's making fun there. Oh, good, Aunt Mabel exclaimed. Then they all get into the Chevrolet taxi of 1950s and they leave to home. And Timothy sits on the back seat and leaving enough room for grandfather and the narrator. Aunt Mabel is sitting in front with grandmother with the tiffin basket on her lap. Just imagine what is there in the tiffin basket, children. The taxi driver leaves to their house. Aunt Mabel gives instruction to the driver to take the taxi on the right way. Then, here we go, said grandfather. I'm looking forward to settling into the new house. Popeye perched proudly on grandmother's shoulder, kept one suspicious eye on the quivering tiffin basket. All aboard, he squared, all aboard. So, the tiffin basket was shaking little. When we got to our new house, we found a light breakfast waiting for us on the dining table. So already dining table was arranged with breakfast. It isn't much, said Aunt Mabel, but we will supplement it with the contents of your hamper. And placing the basket on the table, she removed the lid. So he's telling there's nothing much. I think we will help with some more things which you have carried. The python was half asleep. With an apple in its mouth, Aunt Mabel was no Eve to be tempted. She fainted away. Grandfather promptly picked up the python, took it into the garden, and draped it over a branch of a guava tree. When Aunt Mabel recovered, she insisted that there was a huge snake in the tiffin basket. We showed her the empty basket. See? She wanted to eat whatever was there in the basket. She opened and she feels that she's seen a snake and she faints. By that time, our grandfather takes the python and wraps it on the branch. And when Aunt Mabel opens her eyes, grandfather shows him the empty basket. You're seeing things, said grandfather. It must be heat, I said. So she's telling, no, you've got confused. You have not seen any snake or anything. Grandmother said nothing. Grandmother was just standing and watching all the things which was going on. But Popeye broke into shrieks of manful laughter, and soon everyone, including a slightly hysterical Aunt Mabel, was doubled up with laughter. So she also started laughing, like how she felt and what she saw, but still she could not feel that she was fooled by the narrator and grandfather. So this is the story about how grandfather travels with his pets to Lucknow from Dehra. Okay, children, please read from page number 61 to 67, and the notes related to that will be given to you. Okay, children, thank you.